Did you pre-poll at the last federal election? I did, mainly because I was away on the day, so I had a legitimate excuse, but I was among almost 1/3 of eligible voters in this country.
Yeah, I did.
You did as well? Did you do it out of convenience? Most people would have. A third chose to vote early without the queues, without the parking hassles, and in some cases without being harangued by party volunteers out the front. It was bliss. And this is the worldwide trend. In places like New Zealand and Canada, half of eligible voters pre-poll. That's what we want to do. Damn those queues. And I've got to say the democracy sausage is a tad overrated. But guess which party is complaining today about pre-polling? The mob which benefited from the 3-week early bird period, the Coalition. Communications Minister Paul Fletcher has accused the Australian Electoral Commission of encouraging pre-polling and reckons the record number of people voting early was nothing to celebrate. This is part of a submission.
What was wrong with it?
I don't know. I can't work it out. He's saying that they made the decision to hold pre-polling for 3 weeks and that this is something that those in Parliament should be deciding on. I think it's rubbish. We don't need a full 5 weeks or so of campaigning. It's painful enough. When will politicians accept that the process needs to suit the people, not them? It's not all about them and their promises. Now, Fletcher's submission is a funny little rant. He says deciding the pre-poll should not be a decision for unelected officials to take. Again, politics for politicians.
Why? I don't get any of that. I think, I had a bit to do with the system over the years, and I think that pre-poll voting has worked really well. I think that it is convenient, and I'm trying to work out what's wrong with convenience, what's wrong with making it easier for people to vote.
Yeah.
I can see nothing wrong with it whatsoever. The parties don't like it in the sense that you've got to man a polling booth and you've got to have people there, and quite a few often, because it's fairly busy. But as far as I'm concerned, it's been a really good innovation.
And the numbers
like it. So.
The numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah.
4 million pre-polled, and I would have thought mainly for convenience. And what's wrong with that? Now, maybe there's an argument to reduce the pre-poll period to 2 weeks.
Why? What's 3 weeks doing? What harm is it?
Because apparently the other side is agreeing with Paul Fletcher today. So 2 major parties are saying we should have a shorter pre-poll period.
I don't care. I mean, that's politicians doing things that politicians want. What about what the mob want?
I love that. That's exactly right. Look, if we reduce that, maybe they could promise to reduce the federal campaign and
you can't
take it back. Why can't you?
At the moment, it's a minimum of 33 days to do all the things you have to do with the issuing of the writs and all the other bits and pieces, and to give a modicum of time to the electoral office to get ready, because it's a big job for
Well, how do the states do it, though? The states have 3 and 4 week periods.
Yeah, the states have. It's a smaller effort from states, obviously, but they managed to do it mainly in 4 weeks. I mean, Queensland has done it in 3 weeks a couple of times because Joe would sneak up on you. But there hasn't been very much of it, and if you look at it, most of the states are opting for 4 years now.
Yeah.
So I think everyone's started to work out the fact that you can't just rush these things.
Yeah.
And of course, I think the idea of a set day is not such a bad idea. It means that politicians are giving up an advantage, or at least the incumbents are giving up an advantage of being able to do something at the exact right moment. When the opposition leader's caught doing the wrong thing or something, that bang, away you go, and you take that away from them if you give the one.
But that makes it an even race, doesn't it? Yeah. A more even race.
If you want to be fairer, that's the way to go. I'm not sure I always wanted it to be fairer.
And this is the will of the people. Every state and territory is recording a record number of pre-poll votes. And I would have thought, given the fact that I do my banking, I do my bills and I do my shopping online now, everything. When will we get online voting? Because I think the...
No, I'm against that.
Why?
Too easy to rort. Way too easy to rort. And I think our system, every system's rortable, but our system is very hard to rort. You can't, and a mass rort is virtually impossible. But once you stick it on the net, anything's possible.
Apart from the people who go back and vote in different booths, for the second and third times.
Yeah, well, often they don't do that. Often the parties might be helping them out a bit, I think.
We've got to find evidence of this.
Well, no, there was there was a politician, if you can allow me to reminisce, there was an inner-city politician called Albie Sloss in the old days, and Albie had a team of about 20 of them. They go around in a bus, and he had all sorts of different jumpers and cardigans and everything else, so everyone changed and went in and voted for this one, changed and went in and voted for that one. There was a lot of double voting in those days.
The political democratic bus. Look, just a note to Paul Fletcher, though. You're the communications minister. I would have thought you should be pushing in a digital direction rather than pushing back from it. But, yeah, pre-polling, bring it on, leave it as it is.
Exactly. If it's working, why change it?
Yeah, exactly.